When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. I could either watch it happen or be a part of it. Failure is an option here if things are not failing. You are not innovating enough. The first step is to establish that something is possible. Then probability will occur. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. The idea of lying on a beach as my main thing just sounds like the worst. It sounds horrible to me. I would go bonkers. I would have to be on serious drugs. I'd be super duper bored. I like high intensity. My biggest mistake is probably weighing too much on someone's talent and not someone's personality. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. You want to have a future where you're expecting things to be better, not one where you're expecting things to be worse. There's a tremendous bias against taking risks. Everyone is trying to optimize their ass covering. I do think of my money in terms of what I can do with it for humanity. I think that's what we should all do. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. The only thing that makes sense to do is strive for greater collective enlightenment. The longer you wait to fire someone, the longer it has been since you should have fired them. I think we have a duty to maintain the light of consciousness to make sure it continues into the future. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. You shouldn't do things differently just because they're different. They need to be better. I always have optimism, but I'm realistic. It was not with the expectation of great success that I started Tesla or SpaceX. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. You have to be pretty driven to make it happen. Otherwise, you will just make yourself miserable. The path to the CEO's office should not be through the CFO's office, and it should not be through the marketing department. It needs to be through engineering and design. The thing that's worth doing is trying to improve our understanding of the world and gain a better appreciation of the universe and not to worry too much about there being no meaning and, try and enjoy yourself because actually life's pretty good. It really is. When Henry Ford made cheap, reliable cars, people said, nah. What's wrong with a horse? That was a huge bet he made, and it worked. It's very important to like the people you work with. Otherwise, your job is going to be quite miserable. If you're co-founder or CEO, you have to do all kinds of tasks you might not want to do. If you don't do your chores, the company won't succeed. No task is too menial. It's very important to take risks. I think that research is important, but in a lot of cases, research is not as productive as it could be. Thanks for watching. Kindly like and subscribe my YouTube channel.